Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the future session with myself, Giles Cochran. Hi, Carolyn, Najem, Ryan, good to see you. Hope everybody's well. All right, then, folks. Hey, Ryan, good to see you. Folks, let's get stuck into the session. So, US President Trump, Zelensky, and the European leaders met last night in the US to discuss the security situation in Ukraine and ongoing peace talks. Trump's had a very good meeting with Zelensky and European leaders. Europe has enjoyed the results of last night, and you can just see that the European equity markets are pushing higher in this morning's trade. And Zelensky said that he did receive some important security guarantees from US President Trump, though US President Trump just saying now it doesn't involve troops on the ground in Ukraine. Understandably, Trump's been very reticent to do that for a long time, so that's not a big surprise to see that. And the next step is for Putin and Zelensky to meet, and then Putin, Zelensky, and Trump to meet. So there is a little calendar, a sequence of events that is set up. Now, the calendar is very light at the moment. We've got Jackson Hole Symposium on Friday. That's likely to take markets' attention in terms of what Powell's going to be up to. And the risk is that Powell's more hawkish. Anything that says higher for longer, then you're going to see dollar strength, equities sell off. That's the risk, but it's a risk that's coming at the end of the week. We've had the Canadian CPI data out. That's fractionally lower, and that's lifted dollar CAD just in a snap reaction on that slightly lower than expected Canadian inflation data. Now, the short-term interest rate tracker hasn't updated, so it's hard to see what the implications are of that.
You see Commerce Secretary Lunning just beginning his interview on CNBC.
However, what we do note is that it is weaker than expected, but it's not massively weak. It's not a huge miss at all.
Just noting how that for national security, they do need to make their own chips in the US.
It's a miss, but is it going to change the Bank of Canada's perspective massively? My initial take it won't, but I can't see what short-term interest rate markets are pricing. So that's the only sort of caveat that I've got with that. So broadly speaking, a little bit of a dollar CAD upside wouldn't be unreasonable, but not something I'm chasing. We've got Bowman speaking later on in the session, 7:10. Aside from that, we've got some earnings reports out, nothing major, sort of focus on the US consumer. Home Depot, their earnings have come out, Target coming tomorrow, Walmart coming on Thursday. So it's kind of a US consumer focus coming into this week.
Intel says it would be lovely to have Intel capable of making new S9 in America. It's not necessary, but it'd be a good thing to have.
Right, the Intel shares are getting a bit of focus. That's because of the focus from the US administration is going to buy 10% of the chip maker, and SoftBank have said they're going to buy $2 billion worth of stock. So you can see Intel share prices have just bumped up before the open. They're sort of up 6% roughly. So looking for Intel potentially to see if you get like a pattern or something like that wouldn't be unreasonable with Intel. That is in a little bit of focus at the moment. Aside from that, it's just very light in the new order flow. So just seeing what the market brings us. Notice on the point of control, we're just trying to push underneath that level, and price is trying to break under this really key level here, where we had, if you see on the 15-minute, we saw those buyers come in. So if you can get those buyers trapped on the 15, it wouldn't be unreasonable to have a run down to the standard deviation. So that's definitely something to be looking out for. And even on the tick chart, if you just see if we get underneath this level here, then that should open up.
So they do need to advance the process.
Have to be more selling here. So you should see a bit more selling there come in on that tick chart here, just going underneath those sellers. So just watch out for that. 5-minute chart is coming up as well. And if you can get those buyers trapped on the 5-minute, that would be really potentially significant. Though notice we're in this value area. We're in a tricky area on the weekly. See that developed value area high?
It is pushing for homegrown chips in the US.
So be conscious of that. There is this sell bias that's just trying to build here. see that. Sellers trying
Just
to
on geopolitics.
dip under there on the
Israel
15 and the
Netanyahu
5 here. Right, that's not going to be unreasonable looking for sellers. I might look quick sell on this, see if we get anything. And you can see here that those guys got trapped on the tick chart. So it does look reasonable for more selling. Let's just see. On balance volume is a little bit flat, but you can see sellers are just starting to amass here. From the start of the European session, delta is negative.
As that is, of course, unlikely.
51 seconds. Let's see if we get underneath these buyers here. That would be quite important. So you got 24 seconds. Just watch this. See if those 5-minute sellers here able to trap those buyers. And that should indicate a little potential move lower. Let's just have a little look at that from a developed value area low rather from yesterday. Let's see, 1 second. Right, so you got underneath that level just. So if you see any buyers getting trapped up there on the tick chart, then it wouldn't be unreasonable to see further selling. Just keep an eye on that in the open. You got 15-minute there. There's your 5-minute coming under.
Do note Kazakhstan says that oil supplies to Germany via the Russian Druzhba pipeline have not been restricted. Delivery route for Kazakhstan oil exports via Russian Druzhba pipeline was disrupted briefly, according to the German Economy Ministry, after Ukrainian attacks on infrastructure, but they do note that oil supplies to Germany via the pipeline have not been restricted.
Volatility sort of picking up a little bit there.
And do you know Putin, Russian president, is holding a phone call with the Saudi crown prince, according to Interfax, citing the Kremlin.
We'll come back to that. Coming into the time price opportunity, we're opening up inside yesterday's value area. So we had very choppy price action yesterday. So just going to be careful that we don't get similar again, but at least there's been some breakthrough in the European, Ukraine, US meeting. So we'll see how that impacts order flow. Point of control sits here. Delta is negative to start the session, but we are in this big value area on the weekly chart. So you can see that developed value area here from a previous high. So price is sitting in a natural support area. So we just have to be careful that support doesn't come in here. It's quite possible that it does. And you have had trapped sellers there. So could be a turnaround zone. Just got to watch out for that. 15 will be interesting. If 15 sellers can trap those buyers, then you could see a little rundown to that standard deviation. I don't think that's unreasonable. 5-minute, you got those buyers trapped there. Tick chart. On balance volume is flat, but you can just see that a little bit of negative deltas building up here. We need to see if that carries on. 15-minute trying to break under that level. If it does break under that level, that does give us that sell bias just before the open. So you could look for that down to this standard deviation for sure. Otherwise, got a nice potential area of looking for shorts at the open if this does break that 15-minute. So we'll see. All right, folks, I think that's it for the day. Just need to watch out for any geopolitical headlines, particularly to do with Russia, Ukraine, and the US. Aside from that, we'll be looking at order flow. If that 15-minute doesn't trap those buyers, that will be important as well, and it will just mean that buyers are holding on. So really what is we want to see these buyers trapped here. Look at the tick chart to see if any buyers come in at this region, and in particular look for them to get trapped. On the 5-minute, you can see that those buyers there are trapped. Put a little sell down. We haven't moved higher quickly, we haven't moved lower quickly at all. And just look at that 15-minute candle. So we've got 1 minute 13 seconds. So I'm going to hang around for that. Get underneath this level, then it's potential for shorts. Just trying to bottom here. Just keeping an eye on this. Okay, now maybe a deeper pullback, right? Nice one there, Jam. Yeah, I could just see that trying to. Right, that's trying to go back down again as well. So you've got 5-minute. Trying to trap. See if you get underneath there, there could be another little run lower. But we're just into this major area. Now it's just a question of looking to see, okay, we've got a 5 minute. Those sellers, trap buyers at the open, do we get a pullback here? I'm going to carry on pulling up. Let's have a look. Right. You got some buyers trapped there. Right, quick sell. See how it goes. Just going to lean against that VWAP. You got some buyers trapped there by sellers. Bit of a battle going on, could go either way. Okay. Okay, now it's going up the other wrong way. Maybe a deeper pullback if we got up here, up to the top of those highs, possibly the 5 minute trapped. This could just be a reversal area. Let's have a look. So 5 minute sellers, trapping buyers. Yeah, I know, Najam. Right, I've tried a short up here. Just going to have the standard deviation as my stop. And that's the second stop out. Oh, buddy. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So up into that value area. One last go at it. It is a take profit area, so let's see if we finally get something from it. Okay, now pushing underneath those buyers. Can we get underneath them? That'd be good. Okay, taking that off. Right, at least profitable for the day. What a day. What an... Yeah, it's just... You've got to give everything a totally more space. It's like these false breaks of the ranges and everything. Yes. Just hit that point of control. That was the... See, everything wants to fake you out, doesn't it? Fake you out to the downside, fake you out to the upside, just like yesterday.